Hi, everyone. I wanted to say happy Friday to everybody who is watching and to introduce you to Loryn Maul. We're calling it Linking It Up with Loryn Maul today. My name is Dr. Sandra Colton-Medici, and I have been doing some LinkedIn Live interviews, and this is one that you have to share with a friend. So if you just joined us, make sure you take this link, share it with a friend, and welcome everyone, Loryn Maul.
Hi.
Hi. Well, so I met Loryn on LinkedIn, and she actually is a blogger and also in public relations. And she has something on her website. You can see it on the screen. Let's link up wixsite.com or /website. So if you check out her website, that is where her blog, it is called Let's Link It Up. And she's been doing this for over a year. How many people have you interviewed in over that year?
106 people so far.
That is insane. Okay, so what is the, inspiration behind Let's Link It Up? Like, where did you come up with this concept?
I originally came up with the concept to actually link it up with celebrities. I wanted to reach out to the publicist extremely bad. I didn't know how to do it. So I thought, wait a minute, I have a lot of LinkedIn connections. Why don't I link up with them? Why don't I reach out to a few of them and via direct message and see if they will allow me to feature them on my blog?
Exactly. Well, so what has, obviously it's been a year, but what was the initial response? Did you get kind of like crickets? Did people initially like say, oh, yes, I'm jumping on this train? What was kind of the response?
I actually got very grateful responses. They said yes. The first person, who actually it was someone from Gary Vee's team, and yeah, I'm I'm connected with him. And I sent a message, and I was going to. I thought I deleted it, but he saw it beforehand, and he said yes. I'm like, I was not expecting you to say yes, but
Oh my goodness. That is like the killer interview. So,
yeah.
did you hesitate about what you were going to ask him?
No and yes,
Yeah.
because that's a great thing of what being a blogger and being a publicist or working in the PR field
Mhm.
comes hand in handy
Yeah.
because I knew right off bat to do my research.
Right, exactly. And if you are an interviewer or a blogger or in any space where you're working with someone else, research obviously is really important. And so I did my research when I was, preparing for
Yeah,
our interview because I was like,
yeah,
okay, so what exactly, beyond the public relations side and even in your Let's Link It Up,
yeah.
what else is it that gravitates you to kind of connect with other people like that?
It's the fact that some people they will reach out to me and say, "I'd love to share a story, but I don't know how to." I'm like,
Yeah.
let me figure that out. Let me look at your profile. Let me see what's interesting that I think should be
Mhm.
shared, and I will provide you questions to share, help share
Yeah.
your story.
Right. And in public relations, I mean, that's kind of what it's about, storytelling
Yeah,
and figuring out what the best way to get that story and your message across so that it's not just you bragging. It's,
yeah,
it's a way to tell the story in a very strategic way. So when
yes.
you're thinking about, all the stuff that we're doing right now online, like what's the thing that you're gravitating toward in the online space?
I feel like I'm gravitating towards connecting with people outside of LinkedIn. I
Mm,
mean, literally, when the pandemic hit, that was my general idea. I would
yeah.
not have thought, okay, maybe I should get a Zoom to make this happen, but I did, and I've
Yeah.
had a lot of Zoom conversations with my connections, and I plan
Mhm.
to continue doing so.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of times people are a little scared to reach
Yes.
out to connections. One, like I said, maybe you hear crickets back, but a lot of
Yeah.
times I have, and I'm a guilty party in this. And when I originally set up my LinkedIn account, I kind of just left it alone. I just kind of
Hmm.
put up my thing and I was like,
Hmm.
if people want to reach out, then at least I have my name, my profile, I've already,
Yep.
swooped it up and nobody can swoop up my name. Right. But then I was like, I am neglecting a huge population of people. And especially in that space where they're there to connect with you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's what it was built for, right? So
Right. Yeah.
what was maybe an interview that you've done that you were either surprised by the answers, or you were, or maybe something that we should all go to your website to read?
What I think you should all go to my website to read is Grant Cardone. I was able to interview him. I think you should check that one out for sure. Um, a surprise answer just recently happened, and I have not drafted up that interview yet, but it is coming soon.
She's a PR person for sure. She's teasing the interview. I love it. I love it. Well, so when you are, obviously we're in the pandemic, so
Yes.
it's not
Yes.
exactly over. So how do people, because you've got, some PR background, what should people be doing to get their name out there, to be relevant, to, be in this space so that they're not, forgotten, because obviously no one can see them in like a red carpet, or
Right.
what should people be doing?
I think you should be doing, regardless of industry wise, I think you should get active and engaged on some social media platform. LinkedIn happened to be mine, and find whatever social media platform you feel comfortable with and leverage your talent. Share what you know, little by little, and then you will establish your community.
Exactly. I mean, you use the word community, and that's one of the things that I think a lot of people in 2020, they were, as far as brands, really trying to organize around building relationships, and really what they were doing was building their own small community. So it's so funny on LinkedIn. I feel like every time I make a connection, I'm like, welcome to my community.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
so when you're posting stuff on your socials, what is
Yeah.
the one thing that you think gets the most kind of engagement?
I think the most type of engagement is talking and connecting on other people's content. I think that's drive more traffic, and going beyond the comments of thanks for sharing. No, you're starting a conversation. You're making a connection with what they said.
That makes sense. I know I've been trying to, if I see, like, let's say on Facebook, it will alert me if someone has asked a question in maybe a group that I'm following or a part of. And
Hmm.
I've tried to be, somebody who tries to respond to those questions, because I've asked questions and I've gotten crickets sometimes, and I'm like, but I still need an answer to my question.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so I'm always
Yeah.
really happy when someone volunteers an answer, whether it steers me down the right road or not. You
Yeah.
just never know what kind of impact you can have just by answering a question or thanking someone. Like you said, thank you for sharing that information. Even if it's not for you, I always, even at the top of this, I said, share this link with someone
Right.
who needs to hear this, because
Yeah.
you just never know. Everybody is connected to someone in some, in all these other fields. So what
Yeah.
is one interview that you haven't done that you want to get? Who's that, like, the ultimate get for you?
The ultimate guess would be, I can't pick a name. It would be a celebrity. That has been
Yeah.
my goal for this year, is to at least interview 5 celebrities this year.
See, you have goals. I love this, because when you there's so many people who have not attributed any sort of, metric to what they're doing. And as far as like your blog, you're thinking, long term about what you're trying to hit as far as goals are concerned. What is
Yeah.
something that that you, in putting together your blog, was maybe the hardest thing that you had to do, that maybe you can provide a solution for anybody who wants to create their own blog?
Yep. The hardest thing was thinking up of a name. The name wasn't Link It Up originally. It was called LinkedIn Connections. I thought that was lame. Eventually, Let's Link It Up came to me.
Nice. I know that everybody has a hard time. And sometimes that's one of the things that holds people back in starting a business,
Yep.
is they don't know what to call it. And I'm always like, it will come. But a lot of times people will just sit there and they're like, I can't do anything until I can name
Right.
it, till I can
Yep.
call it something, my baby, right? I have to have
Yeah.
a name for it. I love Let's Link It Up, because it can lend itself to outside of LinkedIn or
Yep.
LinkedIn,
Yep.
because that makes sense. Like, let's hook up, let's meet up, let's link up. Like, it makes sense. So what are some of the things that you see in your future as far as your career? Like, where do you want to be? What do you want to do?
I would love to leverage, let's link it up into a profitable business eventually. I definitely want to continue to work in the corporate world. I have no problem with it whatsoever, but I would like to go to the entertainment industry side of it and work and be a publicist for celebrities.
Nice. Well, when I hopefully when I get some bigger time, maybe I can hire you as my publicist. I know that it's, obviously it's hard these days.
Yeah,
With less events, less public, things happening. But we're gonna get back. I know we will, and it's gonna be a boom. And I know that there's gonna be so many people that were not preparing for that boom. They just
yeah,
are kind of like, it'll come.
yeah.
And I'm like, no, you need to prepare. So, what are some of the things that as far as celebrities, like, do you lean toward music or toward actors? Like, what kind of celebrities would you like to be their publicist for?
I lean towards a lot of music and TVs and movie actors.
Yeah, that's lovely because there's so much going on, especially the streaming world.
Yeah,
It's just, and it's crazy because you're going to have to, come up with a lot of inventive ideas on how to promote that, especially in this digital realm that we're in, because
yeah,
it's not going to be the step and repeat all the time.
yeah.
The Grammys, I think, are coming up. I'm wondering, I'm always interested to see like how they're promoting it, how
Hmm.
how they'll shoot it.
Yeah,
Like the virtual red carpets that
yeah,
I'm seeing are really cool. I don't know
yeah.
if you saw, you said music. Missy Elliott just did kind of like a little montage when she received her new Beyonce gear for the whole Adidas collaboration. Did you see this? It was like she was rapping and she had like a song, but she was doing a little fashion show. And I'm like, no one has been doing this. Like when they just got their gear,
Yeah,
in the mail from Beyonce. Like it's just amazing.
yeah,
So there's so many, avenues to promote. I just know
yeah.
it's gonna be amazing. What are you looking forward to seeing in like 2022? Let's say.
I would say for 2022, I would say that I would have at least had one client by then,
Uh-huh.
but that's as far I would say leveraging other social media platforms, not just LinkedIn, working on that, but that's
Yeah.
as far
I
goal
mean,
wise.
I just think you've done so much already that I'm over here like this for you.
Thank
Just
you.
because everyone who has a consistency like you should be patted on the back. Over a year of doing that, over 100 interviews is insane, and I applaud you like being a go-getter, because there's a lot of people who just took the time to kind of relax. And I'm looking at people like you as like my ideal, right? Because
Yeah,
you're like, I'm not sitting back. I understand we're in a pandemic, but I'm hustling. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah,
it's really great to see. And so I want to send everyone to your website at linkedin.com/in/. Loryn Maul for LinkedIn. And then obviously it's up there. Let's link it up. And all of the website is right there for you to see. But I'm also going to put it into the chat just in case someone wants to, reference it there. So it is www. Actually, it's HTTPS. Sorry, let me make sure
yeah.
I do that right. Let's link up dot sorry, I want to make sure I do this correctly, .com/website. And make sure that you follow her there because she's got so much going on. And then I'm also going to put my website as well, just in case you want to visit me. Oops, there was an error. Hold on. Let me do it again. And then is there anything else that you want people to know about you and how, you started your career? Tell us how you began.
I actually started in the um tech. Basically where I work, it's in a tech publication, and I was literally fresh new, and someone took a chance on me, and I had the opportunity to shadow my colleagues and see what they do, and then take the initiative and say, hey, I want to learn this. I want to be able to do this for myself.
Yeah. I mean, that taking initiative is the first step, and a lot of people don't have that. What do you do when you have no motivation? What do you do to get yourself motivated?
I watch stuff on YouTube that makes me laugh, or I listen to Christian music, something uplifting, because
Uh-huh.
I don't like when I'm not motivated. Something's wrong if I'm not motivated.
Well, I mean, those are two great things. I know that there's music is very inspiring, and I think that
Yeah,
there's a lot to be said as far as getting inspiration from, other places and other
yeah,
people's deep dives into their own emotions. It
yeah.
can just speak to you. So who are you listening to these days?
I listen to a lot of Matthew West. I don't. He's the number one. I don't really remember the people I listen to. I do know I like their playlist, so I continue to have it on repeat.
On repeat.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, everyone should go. I keep plugging it. Go read her blog and let's link it up. I think it's a great name, and I want everyone to read it, and I want people to now start reaching out to you so you don't have to reach
Yeah.
out to them, um,
Yeah.
so that they can say, oh, I want to be on this, because I
Yeah.
think that it could go, into other directions, whether
Yeah.
it's, live interviews on
Yeah.
video or a TV show, or,
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah.
you start one on IG Live now that they have the 4-person feed that you can do on Instagram. I mean, I feel like this could go in a lot of different directions, but I want to thank you because I reached out to you and said,
Yeah.
I want to be on your blog.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you only read one, read the one about me.
Right.
because because
I encourage people to do exactly what you did. Like reach out. I'm not gonna say it just depends because you may qualify or you may disqualify. But I've only had one person disqualify, so
yeah.
you could qualify to be featured on
Nice. She's got rules, babes. She's got
it.
rules. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And I wish you all the best, and everybody else who is out there watching. Make sure that you put in the chat if you are watching this on replay, #replay, so that we know when you watched it. And if you have any questions for Loryn, you can find her on LinkedIn or on her website. I know that she is very responsive.
Yeah.
So make sure to reach out to her no matter what, because she's doing really, really good work. And have a great day. I'm gonna put on another screen so that if you want to reach out to me as well, you can see where to find me on social. All right, and
Yeah.
we'll talk to you guys soon.